Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the first
Hi.
episode, the first inaugural episode of SupportMADEinSGTV. A very short history is because of COVID, and it gathers a lot of people, especially for the artist side and the made industry. This program is what we're trying to help artists to get their word out to people who are willing to listen. We do get our special guest, Mr. Kenneth from Utterly Arch. Handled by Kenneth, who is the proprietor and supporting some of the artists with his gallery. And can you actually share what Utterly Arts do, and what's its history, and so on and so forth?
Okay, so just right at the circuit breaker this year, we actually turned 19 years old. And when I first began, I really didn't know very much about art because myself, I come from an economics and finance background.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all my past jobs were either in a bank or it was in some kind of business strategy consultancy. And I started Atelier when I was 29, I think. 2001. Yeah, I think so. I lost track of. After a while, you kind of blur out this whole time, because you're just busy running one show after another, trying to make a livelihood not just for yourself, but all the artists who entrust their works with us.
Yeah.
So it's a 1 year can really go by very quickly because always a mad rush or something. So when I first began, I knew no collectors, I knew no artists, and I was very blessed and very fortunate that I my path with Chen Tin crossed. We met, and she actually entrusted me to do one of her solo shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why you saw in the presentation, the last slide is actually a very personal and very, very important slide for me because Chen Tin has given me my chance to actually present her and to open the door for me to get into the local art scene itself. So someone like her was just amazing. She taught me a lot of things, and one of the critical things is that relationships is very important. Whether we always say you're doing business, but at the end of the day, it's the relationships that you build, and there's always this trust. So through her, I got to meet her collectors.
Oh, okay.
And the show became a success, and I realized one thing: why not take this opportunity to introduce young artists, pair them up with established Singapore artists, so that they can share each other's network.
Yes.
Because for young artists, one of the things that they may not have is actually the network. People who actually interested in art and people who wants to buy and collect work. So with the presence of more established artists in the show, they get the audience. Most people will say that they start a gallery because they want to develop the art scene, they want to support young artists. That is only just one part of it. For me, it was very important that you must support you must encourage the public. In my line of work, the purchase is the livelihood, the income to the artists, to the artists to sustain their creation of more works in the future.
Right.
So I'm very happy and very proud to say that not only did we nurture young artists who became either auction worthy or collected by a museum or become somebody in the art scene. We also have nurtured many young people. Okay, young people means within when they reach a certain income level, but usually they are in late 20s or 30s onwards, that they actually never stepped into a gallery before. For some reason, they
Mm.
by good chance, they have visited us and they purchased their very first artwork with us. And through relationship building, they started to buy art, not just from me, but from other galleries
Oh
later
wow,
on.
good.
And then now I'm very proud to say that quite a few of them are quite notable collectors of today.
Mm,
They
mm.
have they have started, they buy something visually very pleasing, but now they have started buying very more conceptual work. So the maturity, I seen the maturity in growing, developing them in the way they view and the way they appreciate art.
Yeah.
So essentially, that's what Atelier Art does. We
Mm.
nurture young artists and we develop the market and nurture young collectors.
Well done. Well done. Actually, what do you really like to do with utterly art, and actually, how do you organize and how do you find new artists?
Ah,
Because I know new artists is they're trying to come out, but they don't know who to talk to, and I guess as this program comes out, some people will start to know you and word spread, and hopefully they
mm,
will help them as well in the future.
mm,
That's how I look at it. Yeah.
yeah.
So please, yes.
I like that they say how I can help them, but let's be real. I think we have to help each other
Yes.
because what is a gallery without the artist, right?
Yes.
So it's a relationship. I can't stress enough about relationships.
Hey, help me, leh.
Oh,
Photographer can.
can in fact, let me boast a bit. We were one of the first gallery to bring in Ansel Adams into Singapore,
我不要这样 leh.
and we showed.
That is my that is my god, literally in photography. Ansel Adams.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
we were so
Hey, I can work with
humbled.
you. I can work with you. Oh,
Okay,
happy. Oh.
how artists, okay, number one, I
Yes.
don't really care too much, or I don't put a lot of importance to their background, which means whether they are trained artists, whether they are academically, whether they went to some kind of institution. I think some talents can be developed. Some people just have that natural talent, and they can create very wonderful works.
Right.
Whether um, I also do not care too much about the age because it doesn't matter. You focus strictly just on the works. But what is very important for me when I take on an artist is that you must see the commitment,
Mm, commitment.
because yeah, you don't want to you don't want to just do one show and then the person decides that you want to do one successful show and the person decides that, oh, I don't really want to be an artist. I want to go back to my day job. Once in a while, I'll paint something. Um, it therefore it's not something that I
Mm,
really
mm,
encourage.
yeah.
I don't prefer that kind of relationship. Yeah,
Agree.
I think I told Jacqueline and our friends before, right? It's like a dating game,
Yeah.
You want commitment, you want a relationship, you know.
So shall we
So
start a art for Tinder? Tinder
I
for
think
art.
yes. Last night I was having a chat with my artist friends last night. I say we should have a kind of art Tinder
Tinder
app,
for
something
art.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Swipe left, swipe right.
But
I don't like the art gallery gallery face
uh,
swipe right.
it is. Thanks for bringing out that part. I don't like the art gallery. In fact, how an artist should approach the gallery, they should do a little background check.
Right.
They should go and attend their exhibitions, their openings as much as possible, and then
Yeah.
observe who goes there, know what kind of works the gallery is, the galleries are featuring
Right.
within their
Right.
space. Because again, it's like dating, right? Because
Mm.
you might be painting something, but the galleries never carried that kind of work, and the audience they bring in
Mm.
don't
Mm.
really appreciate that type of works.
Mm.
Then that's not a very good match. So that's number one. So you must know whom you are
you are presenting your works to and hope that who's going to don't just go for a name of a gallery. Okay, so
Well,
that's
some
one.
people do that actually, because they
Yeah,
use the gallery name to actually say, hey, I actually put my photo up for sale at this gallery. So it increases the value of the portfolio. That's how I understand.
yeah, but I think for young artists to please understand from my point of view is
Right.
I'm talking from a gallery's a
Mm-hmm.
seller. Okay,
Yeah.
in a way of saying I am a salesman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you give the right stuff to that salesman.
Right.
I mean, you don't give a multi-million-dollar property to a person who's not accustomed to selling a multi-million-dollar property, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's one. Two is also that relationship that you can have. You must have that. You must be comfortable with the person who's going to be selling your work, who will be representing your works, because
That's right. Mm.
your art and the galleries are the first thing that the audience actually see,
Right.
actually meet, not so much you, because a lot of artists always hide in the background, which it's fair. In my place, I will always prefer the artist there, but sometimes artists don't. That's fine. So we are usually the first, the people that the audience, the market will encounter first. So you want a good representation. You don't want someone to
Yeah.
misrepresent you,
You're
right?
basically the agents for the artist. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's simply put, that's what galleries are about. It's like
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
platform for me to put out my work and earn a living off from. So the one who's running gallery is the agent.
Mm,
Simple as
yeah.
that.
Because it's like, okay, anyway, for people who don't know me, I'm Jacqueline. So I'm also part of the Support Made in SG group. Like, I'm a physical theater artist.
Wow.
So yeah, I have not been doing a lot because
Yes.
of COVID. Yeah. So that's why I'm so free doing this now.
Hey, don't
And
like that. Say,
Kenneth is my classmate
okay.
at LaSalle. So actually, he actually mentioned, because when COVID first hit, right? As a practicing artist, we were all like, oh no, my jobs got cancelled and everything. And I was like talking about it, and suddenly Kenneth was telling me, but I tell you, my sales, like my gallery seems to be doing a little bit better. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. I said, why? He said, I don't know. So so how is it ever since then until now? Because that was, I think, in March,
Yeah.
somewhere in February, March,
February,
I think when we
yeah,
had
end
a
February.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
yeah,
how are you
yeah,
doing?
yeah,
So
yeah. How
that
is
kind
it?
of
I
face.
know.
How
My
you
mother
doing?
always asks me that.
Yeah,
How are you
How
doing? To survive.
Very
Okay.
Singaporean.
Touch wood lah. Touch
Yeah.
wood. Touch wood. That we will weather this. We have weathered quite a few crises from the Asian financial crisis.
uh,
We weathered SARS. Which is
Mm,
probably the closest to COVID.
yeah.
Um, at the beginning of the year, we had sales inquiries, we have commission works, and we were just closing the deals, most of the deals in February and March.
Mm,
All right,
mm,
so thankfully we didn't see any cancellation of the sales.
mm,
Um, I think there there are- there are- there are a couple points I want to put to share about how we are surviving. Is number one, the rental. Eventually, I think in April, our landlord said they will waive the rental, and
okay.
that helped a lot.
oh,
That
Yeah.
helped a lot, um, until June. I have not heard from them whether they are. Well, I'm paying to my
Now phase
to
two,
my
so they're
GP.
expecting more people to come in.
It doesn't happen just like that.
But the thing
It
is, the
doesn't return
government
just like
feels
that.
that you just like that, lor. That's the
but the
unfortunate
rent,
part.
I think people need to be realistic, lah. Okay.
yeah,
I guess there's some reservation about spending money, especially if you're talking about economy going to a recession and things like that. This
Okay.
kind of this kind will put concerns into people's mind, and then therefore affects the way they spend. People will say, oh, but look at the F&B, eventually you see you getting all crowded. Yeah, but we're talking about sustainability, because
Yes.
you don't pay rent for just this month,
Sure. It's
right? There always are the
Yeah,
bills,
right.
the bills to be paid. So one of the things that we shared on Straits Time, I think Ong Sofen interviewed, and we said that, and we have always preached this for many years whenever when we were talking about business, is operation costs,
Okay.
right? It was very important that we manage operation costs. Myself, I'm a economics and finance background person.
Mm.
I'm a businessman, right?
Mm.
Um, if you have too high a cost, you will be desperate to actually to have revenue coming to meet this cost. And therefore, if you, with all this expenditure, that very basic, right? You got no savings
Yeah. No?
if that during the lull period when
Yes.
there's no income coming. So I'm saying that we're dipping into what we have, right?
Right.
We are not making the money,
Mm.
but we're lucky that we have something to dip into.
Right.
Okay.
Mm.
I hope not to close so soon. I hope we won't,
Yeah.
because we are. I believe what I've learned from the 19 years, that Singaporeans have this propensity to buy art. They do.
Wow.
Okay.
Serious.
Don't let people tell you that, oh, Singaporean do not appreciate art and such. I see them so often in the art fairs. People say, I mean, like I said, I was introducing to you about art.
Yeah.
We reach out to all these people who never buy art.
Mm.
How do we talk to them? We talk to them like friends, like very casual. We don't. There's no air about us. You come to my gallery. It's not even. It's not intimidating. It's so. It's not like this very high class looking thing. I've learned that many years ago when people told us they were so happy that they could go to our store, they can actually touch the canvases and start flipping because they're stacked, right? So they want to see artwork. They run through artwork themselves. That removes that
That's not
fear, you know? That removes the fear. It's just not this clinical, clean white walls, just like that. So I think that I'm confident that when we start showing, people will start buying the artworks. Okay? And of course, we aren't the most expensive gallery in town.
And
We
so
do.
not expensive. Yeah.
That
Okay.
was once in a while we will do that kind of thing, but most of the time it's all this what we consider as very
Mid-budget.
pardon this word, don't for the lack of a better word, entry level prices, which means that
Okay.
which means that when you buy the work, you don't feel like I have to starve myself for the next few weeks, or my children will be deprived of something.
Wow, that one
Okay.
okay too much lah.
Yeah. You don't. That's why we have young people who can buy repeatedly, right? Okay. So that
Surprise. Which is good.
the other thing is people also stop coming to the gallery for a long time already, simply because most of the time they will either email me, or they will send a message through Facebook, or they WhatsApp. WhatsApp is very common.
Oh, serious?
And and then they'll say, okay, we like this artwork, and then talk, deal done.
Okay, so
Sometimes I've not met them before.
So we'll talk a bit about strategy, because right now, if you just base, like you said, if galleries, not a lot of people walk in, then how do you actually get a word out of all your art pieces, so that these young people actually can WhatsApp you to say, hey, I like that. That was quite nice. Then they'll WhatsApp you, and then consider delivery costs and blah blah blah, right? Commission costs.
Okay.
So what's your strategy? I mean, do you have an online shop that people go, and how do you so-called focus or showcase the artist in the gallery?
Okay. Art fairs has been very important for me
Art
to
fairs,
meet new people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to meet new people. I join mainly the affordable art fairs, whether it's Singapore and Hong Kong. That's where we get to meet people. Either they buy immediately or they buy later.
Yeah.
But they have our contact. That's number one. Number
Mm.
two, the power of email. Okay.
Oh.
Send to our mailing list. And then people say, hey, I got a friend who likes this. Then they will forward.
Oh wow. Okay.
They always that is how the word of mouth. The word of mouth is not physically coming from mouth, it's actually email.
Oh.
All right.
That's a surprise because right now we are already in 5 or 6 years of serious social media kind of a way of doing things. So you tell me the email way of doing it, it's a bit unbelievable, especially in the circles, circles
Yeah.
and the marketing people, the
May I
professionals. Yeah.
may I try answer
I'm sorry.
touching that? May I try touching that subject that the topic you just brought up?
Yeah.
You put out a point,
Yeah.
but let me ask you: if I send an email to say, let's say 200 of my mailing list,
All
okay?
right.
FYI, our mailing list people has given up, has asked us
To
explicitly
update lah.
to
Yeah.
update them, yeah.
Mm.
Now, and then they your word of mouth, they send it out. Now, if I were to do say social media of Instagram and such, right?
Yeah.
How many Instagrams accounts are there in the world? How are they going to find you?
True lah. It's
If
the
you're
same
not spending
as
tens of thousands of dollars on
Mm.
advertisements.
So it's the same as there's a lot of thousands of galleries right now. So which platform you go out? Like you say, affordable art fairs, not just in Singapore, but you have to go to Hong Kong as well, and to get
Yeah.
your work out lah. So from there, then Instagram is just another channel, I guess.
Yeah, that's another channel.
Yeah.
Don't never discount just because something comes out, become popular, therefore you discount the old ways.
Unfortunately,
These are all your
some
options.
people do. Yeah.
So Kenneth, so Kenneth, you do not have an online gallery where people can browse through anything online.
My
Like
Facebook.
where they click.
Oh,
It's your
Facebook only,
Facebook.
yeah.
I used to have
Oh.
a website.
Okay.
Then,
Okay.
yeah.
I also give out on the website. Actually, it's just too much work.
Oh, because
It's-
it does not really.
No,
Okay, no,
then-
you go free.
So after a while, I don't know what happens. People start whether it's hacking or what, it gets corrupted, and things like that.
Oh.
So
It
our
takes effort. It
Facebook,
takes effort.
yeah, Facebook is another way of people sharing. China.
Yeah.
Let me
China.
share you some new experience that I had with China.
Oh, China, but they don't use
Their
Facebook.
WeChat.
WeChat.
Their
They
website
use
not much,
WeChat.
but their WeChat is really powerful.
Mm.
Of course, I
You are basically talking to a mass of people who you don't even know who your audience is.
Yeah.
And then they are putting out the works, and I see people bidding for the works.
Oh, serious? Only WeChat.
Works get sold just like that. Payment done immediately. I need that platform. I need that platform where people were talking to me and say, "Yay, okay, right now if someone WhatsApp me or whatever, I'll say, okay, pay now me lor."
Yeah.
But it's another step that is okay. You want to minimize that whole transaction step. That means as soon as you just buy straight off, pay me immediately.
Like go supermarket lah. That's what.
Yeah, on the spot. So you need that kind of platform.
I go supermarket buy art. Okay. But I agree with you, but because the WeChat system is so mature, so technologically advanced, until a lot of people just feel that, the Western world system is actually obsolete already. WeChat is actually the way to do things right now.
They streamlined a lot of processes.
Yeah, they streamline the thing.
So if we go back to the COVID.
Yeah. We are talking about strategy,
Yeah, the strategy. But I mean, so actually, Kenneth, the gallery is not so affected by this whole.
No.
Is it very affected?
No. It's very affected because May period is where we are supposed to be in Hong Kong.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where where we are doing sales, because a fair doesn't mean you do a sales just there and that.
Yeah.
You will meet people and then they will contact you after. So it sustains the months thereafter. Okay.
Oh.
So now I got no audience. I got no audience over there. You want to say do online, but I feel it's going to be slower because the fanfare in a physical event, the rah-rahing, It's very exciting, you know. People are more compelled to purchase very quickly, right? Online, there's not much rah-rahing, you see. Just I leave it to you to go and view.
True lah.
That's why I like that WeChat thing, because I like that interaction. I like building that relationship, and through that building relationship, people trust us with the trust our recommendations. I feel a lot of things can be done for the art
I agree.
the art scene to sustain livelihood, you know, from my perspective.
Right. Agree.
I keep hearing about, okay, I don't know whether this is okay to talk about the digitization of art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why. Are you going to do that?
No, I think, like I said, these are all various platforms that we should do.
Yeah.
But there are so many of these digital platforms, so many pages out there.
Yes.
How to find you?
That's right.
Yeah.
Agree.
I feel when you want to do digitization, you want to encourage the nation to do digitization, there must be a national support for it. Which I give you an example. An idea, okay, or not very thought through, but it goes something like this. You have a Singapore portal, okay? Right. There needs to be a lot of investment. Like I said, you want to be noticed online, there must be a lot of investment. Okay, don't expect the artists who are already suffering and the art groups who are already suffering to invest. You need expertise in knowing how to promote these digital platforms.
Right.
Okay, so just imagine that you have a Singapore platform, right? Maybe owned by NAC, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how the bureaucracy or politics work, but just let's fantasize. Let's fantasize and see whether the logic works.
Well,
now,
if I fantasize, we'll go some other place. I don't know.
Okay, let's keep within this context.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So just imagine there's this online portal. Okay, all the art groups comes into this portal. So it's very easy to see on this homepage. You see all the various art groups and their digital presentation.
I agree.
But this portal is actually managed by experts. That means people who may not be in the art, but they are expert and knowledgeable in how to promote digital platforms, how they do the marketing.
Yeah.
Someone needs to invest in them, because you don't leave the art groups are good at what? Creating artworks, creating great contents, but
sell tickets for performing arts as well. So in the meantime, we are looking for support. That's what Kenneth is trying to say. So, but in the meantime, all the budget, does all the budget has testicular fortitude in solving the problems or not?
And whether there's sustainability, you see.
Yeah.
You go create a platform, and then what are you going to do with the platform thereafter? I gave you the money now.
Yeah.
How long can this money last?
Yeah.
To sustain this platform.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that you do. It's basically having to do a strategy and business plan.
Right.
For it. Yeah. So, it's not just do on an ad hoc basis. Yeah. I think it's a great idea. I believe that is where what we should be developing. Okay. I have this point that I want to say. Technology is out there. It's way well in advance. But the OS, the operating system here, our mentality is not advanced. We have not yet. We have been so resistant in changing our ways.
Yes.
In what we think how art should be presented. I think we should not discount.
So do you feel it's enough? Where is lacking? Where's the loopholes? The rental one part which we talk about is right now they came out with the law to punish all the landlords and mall owners who didn't give any rental rebates. So they actually have a law to actually punish them. But for the rest of us, where they think that, like for me, it's like my family in a unit, okay, they earn enough, but me is zero. But it's their money. So, but based on the household, they say I cannot get anything. So to me, that was a loophole, right? Because they view that the family must support everybody each other, but sometimes it's not as clear cut. So that's how I look at it. But for your point of view from your business for Atelier Art is,
Mm.
how does it affect? Does it help? And where you think can improve?
Sorry, I don't know. I've gotten, apart from the rental rebate from my landlord,
Yeah.
we got nothing else. What? And
Okay.
any shortcomings to the gallery really impacts more of my artists.
Okay.
Mm.
So
They,
Yeah.
you want to talk for your artists right now? I mean, what are their common complaints? I mean, after this COVID, right? Then all the budgets, right? What is the
Yeah.
common refrain? Refrain. That means what they talk and complaints about. Maybe you can share here. Then we see we can find a common voice.
I think give them back, let them go back to their studio to do their work.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
is very, very
yeah.
important.
Agree.
Number one, during the COVID, also no delivery can be done. So
Oh.
people will
Oh
just say
yeah.
cannot deliver now, then maybe buy and pay later.
Then how the Shopee people, cool 10 people, how they survive?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
But you see, I cannot. You know, when we talk about all those delivery service,
Yeah.
like okay, let's say if the F&B,
Yeah.
the percentage that's taken from $5 char kway teow is like what's there left for the poor hawker. So
Okay.
like I
That's
said,
one
many,
point. Yeah.
huh?
That's one point. But
Yeah.
my view is that these guys can deliver. So how come the artists cannot deliver their work to customers?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Doesn't
for
make
one,
sense.
yeah, for one, our type of delivery cannot start work. Um, I mean, I want to do those very expensive.
Yeah.
Wait, there is no delivery actually.
Can't deliver at
I
all.
actually can't deliver at all. Sorry.
Doesn't make
I
sense.
take back what I say. Cannot deliver.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but maybe Terence can come in because he did mention before we start the session that the artist is able to go back to the studio right now. Is it?
I think Nicola has got 2 questions
Sure,
she
sure, sure,
wants to
sure.
ask.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Kenneth, and thank you for your insight just now. So myself, I'm a sculptor, I'm an artist. I have studios in Singapore and in Dublin. So I guess I often think of things from the artist perspective, but also from the business perspective. Right now, of course, we're all trying to find our ways through. So I was thinking, it sounds like Atelier Art really helps to kind of foster and mentor artists to develop through their career. And I really love what you said about pairing emerging artists with more established artists. So I wondered if you had any more insight into that in terms of what are the steps that you would encourage artists to go through, or the journey that they should be looking to take during their career. And my second question was actually a similar question, but for collectors, as in going from a newbie collector to a serious collector, because that's probably something that outside of artists, it's art supporters, and how can we all help the supporters of the arts to grow even during the pandemic?
Okay. Regards to the first question, the journey of an artist, that is a very, very tricky and high, to me also, I feel it's a very highly sensitive topic to discuss. So let's approach this with a very open mind. And now, sometimes when an artist creates the work, right? Sometimes the market is just not ready. Okay, I use the word, please allow me to use the word market. I know in many
It is a market.
this market sounds like a very
is a
popular
market.
word.
It is a market. Yeah.
But you're talking to a gallerist, so
yeah.
I'll use the word, okay? So sometimes the market is not ready. Someone was sharing with me last night that they have collectors who come up to them and say, "Oh, I know who you are. I never liked your work." I mean, I would rather think that he was never ready for that type of work, because art, there's such a wide genre of work such a wide genre, right? I mean, there's so many different types. Even within the abstract, within certain medium, there's so many different styles and so many different approaches. And some people are just not ready for something new, So what do you do? I always ask the artist, You want to know what the market knows, or do you want to, or do you want to carry on doing your stuff? To carry on doing your stuff means there's a chance that you won't sell immediately. So what pushes you must be your passion and your commitment to what you believe in. Your integrity is one thing that you have. Man, you shouldn't let anyone take that away. But that said, do you also want to educate the market about new thoughts, new practices? How do you want to approach that? I think that takes a whole community to do that. You must, as a gallerist, sometimes we just need to present certain types of work that you know, we may not have actually a client's work, but we believe it. Myself and Kenneth are collectors, you know. So perhaps when we looked at new works, we get more excited than a newbie collector. So it's my job to educate the people who enter my realm about these new type of work. How do you do that? Be very humble about it. Let me share a story with you. Share one, although I have many. There was kind of traveling quite a bit, and I came back to my gallery not knowing what works on the wall. I had no idea who the artists were, and when I entered the gallery of that day, I was not around. So
I thought you're not around. Okay.
He was not around. Luckily, we have the collateral, and at the same time, we had a few visitors came in, and they asked, "So, can you tell me more about the work?" And I go like, "Actually, I don't know. I just came back today, but I took the pamphlet and I said, let's walk through together.
Oh wow.
Let's walk through together." So we read together, we looked at the works, we shared with each other's thought. And sometimes I need to guide them in how, because they will say, I don't know where to begin to think. I go, do you like color? Do you like stroke? Things like very basic questions like that. And then it was one of the most enjoyable moments for, not just for them, but also for me. Again, like I said from the start, I love building relationships, right?
Right.
So, and they really appreciate it, and they saw works in a very different light. And so it is you choose your representation well as an artist. So that's how I will represent you. I will not just tell your story, but I will help your audience to look at artworks in ways that are personal to them, make it very experiential. So I will ask the artist, do you want to take those steps? Okay, so either you must take that role of how, what's the educating sounds like a, I don't know what is the right word, educating your audience.
Just educate. It's
supposed
to.
It's a very slow process. So your passion has to feed you, and maybe part-time jobs as well. In that sense, for new artists. For collectors, wow, okay. For collectors, it depends, whom you're talking to, understand what's their purpose, right? What their expectations, but most newbie, first-time collectors put their work at home. So you need to know who.
At home.
You need to appreciate that, because at home may have their mother-in-laws or their own elderly mothers who may not want a new painting or some scary painting on their wall. Okay,
or the
but
scream.
Don't discount them. Just talk to them. Eventually, they may be daring enough to buy one and hide it under their bed. I don't know. Or eventually,
the bed.
I don't know. You just speak to them, and eventually they will say, okay, I like it. I would like to purchase my first piece of art.
Right.
And so on and so forth. So it's a journey that you have to take with them, and you just as much as you have to appreciate and understand artists, you also must appreciate and understand your collectors, your audience. Yeah. No need this highbrow snooty approach. I never understood that approach. I always found that approach very off-putting.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I think especially what you've said about you've kind of grown those conversations from or what color is it, to perhaps having more in-depth conversations.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've given us the balance that it shouldn't be pretentious, it shouldn't be elite, that it's blocking people from having those conversations.
Yeah.
And I think as artists or as creative businesses, whoever's watching this, I think that's a really useful piece of advice, that right now we're all thinking about, okay, how can we prove the value of the arts and of creativity to the whole society, the whole world. So those kind of conversations are really important, not blocking people from those, but helping people to start that dialogue and seeing the value for their own lives, whether that's...
I also want to remind everyone that Kenneth has done Scape as well, all right? He started with Scape,
yeah.
So, you know, like two sides from very youth and very contemporary and very street level to also the artistic level. So I think we should definitely look at that bridge, lah. I mean,
agree.
How do we look at both at the same time, no?
Agree.
Yeah.
So
okay, sorry, just my 2 cents worth.
No, it's $2. Okay, never mind. It's alright. It's a lame joke. Okay, fine. Before we're gonna end because it's about an hour.
Oh, okay.
Can I want to ask Aloysius? You want to say anything? Because
on our Facebook, Aloysius said okay, he's good. And on our Facebook Live, anyone on our Facebook Live? Billy, Eugene, anybody else? If no, then I think that's it.
Well, at least it's hopefully that once we start this thing rolling, I'm gonna end this and we're going to continue to talk about to talk with and talk to and talk about the work that artists are doing. In a way, is to show support. That's what this group is about. It's to show support, to tell people what they do, and hopefully talk about their success, talk about their fears, hopefully, and also ways to actually improve themselves and others around us. This is the first one, and we're gonna continue. I'm not so sure how long we're gonna continue, but if we find that this is popular enough, then we'll continue and support as many artists as possible. And hopefully, thank you, Kenneth, for joining us. I hope that this session is fun. It's not lowbrow, but fun. With a lot of Singlish flying around. Hopefully, people like Nicola, you're okay with us.
She's okay. Nicola has been here for a while.
Oh, yeah, it's not about a while, no.
You don't think she sound angmo only, walao. My wife also at the background buay tahan already.
Okay, I know. Jody is behind listening.
Sorry, can I put in a note here?
Yes.
This is a very trying time for a lot of people.
Agree.
I want to wish everyone out there to have faith. Okay, have faith in themselves. Have faith in the system. I mean, they do what they can. Of course, it can be improved a lot. Sorry, did my eyes roll? Okay,
yes,
me too. But we all have to. I think we need to work together. Okay, and be patient about how things will develop. But we need to keep speaking up. But don't get angry. Don't be angry with each other. I've seen online some internal fightings, which I feel
yeah. That's all I say.
It's very this disharmony is just not going to do anyone any good. Let's try to work harmoniously together, because there's a lot of things the art scene can do for the country. Don't forget, like, we are considered essential. If you look historically, remember, Jacqueline, we did one. Okay, I'm doing my master's now. Okay, I learned new things. Remember, there was one. The ambassador from the U.S. ambassador came and gave a talk and said how art was used to create international relationships and things like that.
Yeah.
We use art. Audrey Wong watching, you better say properly.
I got Audrey.
She's watching. Okay.
I got paid attention. I paid attention. But I think that the art here has created a lot of community works, and we could do a whole lot more in a more structured and more systematic way. Look at it as one entire national project. Don't do it ad hoc thing. If you want sustainability, do a proper planning for 1 year, 5 years, you know, because to be honest, if we look at the market, the institutions are are the main providers for livelihood for the artists as well.
Exactly.
You know,
Agree.
so we need their support, and we need them to listen
Right.
to us, and we need to listen to each other as well. Okay.
That's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I round it up already. I finished it. So, whatever has been said about essential, non-essential, I don't think that is really necessary. But
No.
we just say that we know that we are essential in a lot of contexts.
We know the
don't-
value of our work.
Yo, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The value of your work come from you first, then people can see the value in your work. So when you see
I
value,
disagree.
really don't need to overfight too much lah. That's all I can say lah. That's as a person.
No, sorry, but Wilson, I disagree. I think,
Yeah lah,
I
he
think
disagree.
artists. No, because artists have been inspired by so much of the value that other artists have given us. I think when I started, you know, and I think all of us, we've always been inspired by something else, someone else
Yeah.
who presented the value. I don't know him. I don't know this artist. I don't know, you know, I don't know her. But whatever it is, her work spoke to me. She didn't speak to me directly. Her writing didn't speak to me directly. Her dancing. But I got inspired. It helped me move on.
Yeah.
So it works in a different way.
The how we move on is some people go through art, some people go through music, some people go through other forms. But music also art. That's why I can say.
Of course, of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for all the musicians to come and join us. I don't know why all the musicians don't like to talk. They like to play only.
Ask them to sing to us their thoughts.
TikTok dance. TikTok
That one different. That one different.
TikTok dance also essential for COVID. So dance.
Okay, don't let us one article and one survey to discourage us. We have our purpose. We have our values. Okay.
Agree.
Totally agree. Okay.
Believe in yourself. Have faith.
Okay. So with that quote for Kenneth is we don't let one article to bring us down. And we must find the value by ourselves, we are ourselves, and people can see the value.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Let's keep talking to the institutions, right, Karen?
Yeah.
Thank you for all your effort, and Jacqueline and Wilson.
Thank you.
Thank
you for joining us.
Thank you, Nicola, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Nicola.
Nicola.
Okay, so thank you very much.
you.
I'm gonna end the live Facebook. Yeah, okay. You can stay around and chit chat some more, but we'll start the live stream. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks all. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining us.